All right, the time has finally come. The GoPro HERO 11 Black Mini is here. And is it worth the reduced cost? Is it worth the reduced features? Well, we're going to take a look at that and more coming up right here on Live to Fish. All right, let's get to the unboxing. And again, this is the HERO 11 Black Mini, and this comes in retail at $449.98, $100 less than the GoPro HERO 11 Black, and you can get it for another $150 off, so $299.98 total with a 1-year GoPro subscription. Now you save $150 for going with the 1-year GoPro subscription. The GoPro subscription runs about $50, and I'm going to get into a little bit more detail in that a little bit later in the video. But actually, it's a pretty good deal for $50. Again, you're getting $150 off the unit for a $50 investment. All right, now it came in some weird brown wrapper, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But what they did do is send out this handler here. This was sent out free to everybody that had pre-ordered the Mini, just for the delay, and it was going to be a delay for about, they said about a month, but it actually ended up being about 2 weeks, so it wasn't too bad. But let's get right down to the Mini here. Again, it's in this weird kind of brown wrapper, and it's kind of torn up a little bit. Not really sure why they did this. I'm thinking maybe it's because of that delay that they had. I'm wondering if they had to reopen packages and maybe pull units to do a software update or maybe some hardware tweak. And what they did is they wrapped it in this brown wrapper to let it know that this was done, had the update, and was ready for shipping. Not really sure, but that's the way it was shipped. So let's go ahead and tear off this brown wrapper here and see what we have underneath. Alrighty, here we go. Now this is, again, the standard packaging for the GoPro. And again, this is the GoPro HERO 11 Black Mini. It's a scaled down version of the GoPro HERO 11, and both in price and in some of the features, but not really most of the features, but the form factor. Go ahead and remove this security tab here. Nice, comes in its own little case here. All right, let's get it opened up. First thing we have in here, we have a reminder that the camera must be updated before you can use it. That's pretty much standard with any GoPro. Highly recommended that you do that. The difference between this unit and the full-blown 11 is the fact that everything is going to be run off the app, and I'm going to get to that in just a second here. Now again, pretty standard here with the shipping. You have your USB cable. That's for the charging and data transfer. Have a nice little mount here, and this is the universal sliding mount that will go into usually like a helmet or something like that. It's got a little bit of a curved or arced faceplate to it, and again, it's the 3M sticky, real good stuff. This is to screw in any of the attachments. Again, this is the universal mount that comes with every GoPro, and here it is, the GoPro HERO 11 Black Mini in all its glory. Let's go ahead and get this unwrapped here. Kind of hard to do behind the camera because I'm a little bit at a weird angle where I can't see everything real well. All right, there it is. Now you'll notice the first thing is the absence of a back screen. So there's no back screen. Obviously no front screen. Now here by comparison, I'm going to have the GoPro HERO 10, which is essentially the same thing as the GoPro HERO 11, to compare up against the 11 Mini. Now what you'll notice first is you see that there's no front-facing screen. That's something that they tried to downsize for the form factor, but it doesn't stop there. Let's go ahead and look at the back. The back sides of this you can see, well, it's just one big heat sink. And you can see the little warning here about it gets hot. Here you have the back screen on the 10 and 11, but up top, and that's more or less just a little quick screen. Again, everything's going to run through the app. It's not going to have like a touch screen. This doesn't have any ability to change any of the menus. That's driven all through the GoPro Quick app. Now with the standard GoPro, you have the power and mode on the side. This one, you're going to have it right on the face of the unit. All right, let's power up the Mini for the first time. And again, they power to it. Power button's located in the front. Let's see what happens with this LCD screen. All right, so we get the 11 Mini. Language, we're going to go ahead and select English. Boy, terms of service. Well, I sure hope they don't scroll through all the terms of service in here. We're going to go ahead and accept that. And we have to do the quick update on the phone, but I'm using my phone for the recording, so we're going to have to come back and revisit this. So here I'm going to walk you through the pairing process and the process of updating the firmware to the camera. And here we go ahead and we pair it through Bluetooth. And once that's paired through the GoPro Quick app, it then creates a wireless network between the GoPro camera and the GoPro Quick app. What that does is it allows it to then push the updates, software updates, the firmware updates from the internet directly to your GoPro. And once you're connected, it gives you a list of all the updates that are ready to apply and also legal disclaimer. And here we go for the update. This is what it looks like from the LCD screen, and it doesn't take very long to go. All right, here it is with the update all completed. It is showing that it is recording 4K at 60 frames a second by default. The recording time available is 1 hour and 56 minutes and almost a full battery that it came with. Came up charged up right out of the box. Not too bad at all. So there you have it. You're going to be able to see those video modes. Let me show you through the app how you can adjust that and how that's going to change that display screen. So here it is at the standard setting. I'm going to go ahead and change it through the app. We're going to go ahead and select time warp. And you can see here now it is at time warp setting. I can change it here again. Star trails. I believe that's for when you record at night. You can leave it out. And that's set for 49 hours. Wow. That's crazy. All right, so that's, again, another time-lapse setting. Now we're going to select light painting. And that says, uses a long exposure in dark environments to create brushstroke effects with moving light. That's pretty cool. Now we're going to change it over to vehicle lights. This uses a long exposure in dark environments to create light trails from moving vehicles. Awesome. And again, you have your standard time lapse. And now we have a night lapse. Not sure what the difference between the night lapse would be as opposed to the star trails, the light painting, or the vehicle lights. Again, not something I would use necessarily, but you never know. Up north with the northern lights, with some of the meteor showers, might be pretty cool. So again, instead of having that rear-facing touchscreen where you change all of your settings, that's all done right here through the app. So we're going to go ahead and go back to standard, and when we go to standard, we're going to go ahead and click on this little pencil icon, and that is for the edits to change your settings within that mode. But there's a lot of different settings that you can change here to customize everything the way you want. So it's essentially the same thing as you had on your rear-facing screen. Now it's all adjusted through the app, which may make it a little bit easier, especially if you have it on a chesty mount on the fly out on the water. When I'm out there, it's going to be a lot easier to make adjustments to some of the settings that I have. It's going to be that's going to be kind of nice, actually. Another huge difference to get the form factor down a little bit smaller in the Mini is the fact that they used an internal battery. The internal battery is based on the Enduro battery model, and unlike the 10 and 11, you have an internal battery that is not removable. In other words, if you take a look at the 10 and 11, when you remove this battery door, you can see the battery in there, and you have your USB, and also you have your memory card access. Well, in the 11, it's a little bit different. You still have a little access door here, but that's only for USB and your memory card. There's no way to get this battery out of here. So for those of you that have some experience with GoPro, know that in years past, the models that were labeled both white and silver had internal batteries in them that were not removable, and that's something that is true about the Mini here, with the exception of the fact that it has the what is called the upgraded Enduro battery mode, which is better for cold conditions. It also has a longer battery life. Now, the Enduro batteries is what I run exclusively in my GoPro HERO 10, and they look like this. And again, they're supposed to be for colder temperatures and also give you a longer running life. However, I have had some issues with them. I've had issues with the fact that they run a little bit too hot during the summer, and I've had issues with this top pull tab coming off. What that means is when this top pull tab end comes off, you can't get it out of the GoPro very easily once that comes off. And it happened on 2 separate units this past summer. Here's a picture of what I sent to GoPro, and again, with my GoPro subscription, they swap it out, no problem, no questions asked, so that was kind of nice of them. I'm not sure if they would give you the same service if you didn't have the GoPro subscription service, but I would assume they would. I almost think that there is an issue with these because they didn't even bat an eye. They just had me send in a picture, send in the serial number to the model, and they sent a replacement out. And let's take a closer look here at the GoPro Hero 11 Black Mini. Again, the back side of it does have an entire heat sink, and there is a warning about the heat. What you'll notice is now they have a back mounting plate. These brackets come out, and you have that available, and you also have the standard bottom mount available as well. So that gives you two options, which is kind of nice. And I'll be honest with you, when I'm using this on my chesty, I am not using the front-facing screen at all, and nor am I using the rear screen. So it's not really going to be an issue for me with this. This is going to give me another angle on the Ultra Skiff and also from the bank. Now, for some people that want to swap out their batteries, you can obviously use this with the Volta and keep it charged up, or you can hook it to an external battery supply. That's another option that you do have that will extend your battery life to this. But if you're looking for something that you can swap out batteries, maybe this isn't for you. Now, getting back to that internal battery, there's been a lot of talk online about the fact of when the battery goes, does this make the unit dead completely where it's completely useless? I highly doubt that. Again, they're white and silver units of the past had internal batteries, and it was never an issue. They performed flawlessly for years. The one thing, like I said, I'm a little concerned about is the heat transfer with the Enduro. We'll see how that goes. But again, with the back heat sink of this unit, I think that's going to dissipate some of the heat and may actually run better than both the 10 and the 11. But again, speaking of battery life, this is something I'm going to either have hooked up to the Volta or an additional external battery supply, so it really won't be an issue for me. Now, specification-wise, recording-wise, resolution-wise, there is absolutely no difference between the Hero 11 Black Mini and the Hero 11. So for $100, again, you're kind of just doing away with that front screen and also the rear screen and the fact that you can't swap out batteries. But there are a few features you need to be aware of that are not included in the Mini. And let's take a look at those. Now here we see the product specifications. You can see that the resolution is identical between the 11 and the 11 Mini. The option for photos is not given in the Mini, so you can still take stills from within your video files, but you can't use it as a camera. But also what's missing is the loop mode. Now for me, that would be a deal killer, but since it's my second camera, it's not. Now, for $100 less retail, it might not be worth it for you to lose some of those features from the full-blown 11 to the Mini. But again, when you throw in that GoPro subscription for a $150 value for $50, and you're talking $299 for this camera, it is well worth it. Now, again, let's take a look at the GoPro subscription and see exactly what it entails and what benefits you receive. Again, for an extra $50 for $150 savings. For $50 a year, you get unlimited cloud backup and auto uploads. What that means is that you don't have to worry about your external or internal hard drive failures with your PC or any other devices. Your data is safe on their cloud storage, and it's unlimited storage, so you're never going to run out. You also have unlimited use of the Quick app, which gives you some editing tools that you don't have use to otherwise. And the biggest selling feature, no questions asked replacement. One caveat that's important to mention is the fact that if you are currently a GoPro subscription subscriber, you get the $299.98 price. That's right. You don't have to buy an additional GoPro subscription. You don't have to gift one out to somebody. They automatically give you the $150 off. So not only did I save $150 on my GoPro Hero 10 purchase last year, but I also get the extra $150 off this one. So again, that's another reason why that GoPro subscription really pays for itself if you're going to be either upgrading, adding on different accessories, or just adding to your collection with some additional cameras. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is it something that you're going to look at? Do you want the full-size form factor with all the features? Or is the scaled-down version better for your budget? And is it something that you're interested in with adding that GoPro subscription? Again, leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like and, of course, subscribe to Live to Fish. Hit that notification bell to let you know when Live to Fish puts out new videos. All right, until next time, be safe, be well, and as always, live to fish. Take care, everybody.